Today we're going to continue. This is December the 7th, so we're going to continue with Chapter 7 of Jingle All the Way. This is an Advent countdown story. Includes 24 chapters, one for each day till Christmas, beginning, of course, December the 1st. Words by Catherine Hapka, pictures by Catherine Selbert. So today we are ready for number 7, chapter number 7. So we're going to break the seal on this chapter and begin. North Pole AWOL. Hurry, hurry, Juniper interrupted the elves, who were singing Christmas carols as they tidied their workshop. Mrs. Claus will be here soon to inspect the premises. This workshop needs to look as fresh as new fallen snow. Happy swept sawdust into a pile. Nearby, Mistletoe wiped down her workbench. That Juniper is awfully bossy, isn't she? She whispered. She's doing more supervising than cleaning, if you ask me. Happy chuckled. Juniper loves to supervise, he agreed. That's why she's such a super head elf. True, but Mrs. Claus won't be here for hours. Mistletoe shook out her rag. She always spends Christmas morning cross-country skiing and monitoring the weather for Santa's journey on that solar-powered weather station thingamabob she invented. She won't even come back to the castle until it's time to take the Christmas cookies out of the oven. Suddenly, the door flew open. Mrs. Claus stood there, her expression worried. Hello, everyone, she said. Have any of you seen Jingle lately? Jingle? Juniper echoed. No, come to think of it, he hasn't been helping with the cleanup. He usually goes with me on my Christmas Day ski trek, but there's no sign of him, Mrs. Claus said. He didn't even show up to lick the bowl when I made Christmas cookies. Happy was surprised. Jingle loved Mrs. Claus' special Christmas Day cookie dough. I hope he's okay. Happy was so concerned that he forgot to feel shy about speaking up in front of everyone. Maybe we should help you search for him. Yes, we'll help, several of the other elves chorused. The elves searched every nook and cranny of the castle. They checked upstairs and downstairs and in the tower. They checked the kitchen and the closets and inside the big clawfoot bathtub. They even searched the stable where the reindeer lived, but there was no sign of Jingle. Oh dear. Mrs. Claus wrung her hands. What could have become of him? Happy raised his hand. I have an idea, or more of a theory, really. All eyes turned to him. You're good friends with Jingle, aren't you, Happy? Mistletoe said. Where do you think he could be? Happy took a deep breath. I wonder if he might have... He gulped, hoping he wasn't getting his friend in trouble. That is, what if he's stowed away on Santa's sleigh? Stowed away? Juniper exclaimed. Impossible. Santa told him he wasn't allowed to go. The other elves nodded. A few echoed Juniper's. Impossible. But Mrs. Claus looked thoughtful. Stowed away? Do you really think he might have, Happy? He wanted to ride along with Santa on his rounds, Happy said. He wanted it more than anything. It's the only theory that makes sense. Mrs. Claus looked thoughtful. But there's a reason Santa didn't want that pup riding along. He's so full of energy he couldn't sit in the sleigh the whole time. And as focused as Santa gets on Christmas, well, I'm afraid he might not notice if Jingle were to hop out and wander off. Oh, no, an elf exclaimed. What will become of Jingle if he gets left behind? Nothing good, Juniper said. Santa doesn't have time to search for him, and I doubt that silly pup would be able to find a portal back here on his own. Does he even know how the portals work? Happy looked nervous. I'm not sure I understand how they work myself. Oh, dear. Mrs. Claus looked around at the elves. We have to do something. Someone needs to find Jingle before Christmas Day ends. She touched the weather equipment in her pocket. I would go myself, but I need to monitor the satellites and notify Santa if he has to change course. Most of the elves looked confused, nervous, or both, but Juniper stepped forward with a determined tilt to her jaw. I'm head elf. It should be me who goes. Happy couldn't help being impressed. Juniper sure was brave. He couldn't imagine how scary it must be to be out there in the rest of the world, far from their snug home at the North Pole. Thank you, Juniper, but you shouldn't go alone. Mrs. Claus scanned the gathered elves. Happy, you know Jingle better than anyone. Will you go with Juniper? Happy gulped. Me? Him? Juniper shot Happy a dubious look. "That's not necessary, Mrs. C. I can handle it." "No, it's too risky." Mrs. Claus looked very serious. "You won't have much time to find Jingle and get back here before the gates close." Happy closed his eyes for a moment. That did sound risky, but then he thought about how scared Jingle must be right now. He opened his eyes, took a deep breath, and nodded. "I'll do it. I want to help Jingle." "Fine." Juniper squared her shoulders. But you'd better keep up, because like Mrs. C said, we don't have much time." All the elves came along as Happy and Juniper went outside with Mrs. Claus. "Please stay on your toes," she told them as they tromped through the snow toward the peppermint-striped gates. "Humans aren't used to seeing elves in their world. It will help that it's Christmas and everyone should be in a happy holiday mood. Still," her voice trailed off. "Don't worry about me, Mrs. C." Juniper glanced at Happy. Don't worry about us. We'll find Jingle and be home in time to enjoy those cookies you're baking." A wise old elf named Tannenbaum explained how the portal system worked. Happy was so nervous, all he heard that was the portals could take them anywhere on Earth, and they smelled like pine cones and gingerbread. "Got it," Juniper said. "Now, let's get moving. We're burning Christmas daylight." The gates stood wide open as they always did on Christmas Day. Happy had never been outside of them. Before he could wonder what awaited him out there, Juniper yanked him through. "Good luck." Mrs. Claus already sounded very far away. The rest of the elves started singing, but Happy could hardly hear them over the nervous thumping of his heart. Inside the gates, everything was a winter wonderland. Out here, it was winter too, but the landscape was barren and windswept. Somewhere in the distance, there rose an eerie howl. "Where's the portal?" Happy asked, through teeth chattering with cold and fear. Juniper looked around. "I think that's it." She pointed at something that looked like a whirlwind just above the icy ground. Happy was mesmerized and gasped when Juniper grabbed him by the arm and leaped into it. "Wah!" he cried as he felt himself spinning around and around and around. And we'll find out what happens tomorrow when we read the next chapter.